All right, now we're going to get into the crux of it. You've set the agenda. You know what you want. You've got those goals listed out. Now you've got the plan of the quarterly. You've got that check-in. You're going to be checking in with yourself every 3 months, keeping yourself from getting too far left or too far right. But now it gets into what we would say the how part of your success and taking it to that monthly goal. Please pay attention to the wording that we have put there for you. It's like, what is your top 3? What are the sales volume? What is the number of people that you want to maybe add into your business, or the goals that you want to have, or that level of achievement? It really takes it down. That verbiage is really important because there's so many things that we can do. Remember, you're taking that year goal into the monthly. So you don't need to worry about doing it all the first month. You have an agenda, you have a plan. So you can ease into knowing that you are working towards or getting closer to, or maybe you're at that midpoint, right, of getting to where you want to go. Everything is a step. And so here you want to remind yourself of that why. Like, what is it that I want? You got that yearly plan in mind. You know you've got the plan for it in the quarterly. Now we're going to break out the steps that it takes in those individual goals. This is where it gets really juicy and really exciting and keeps you on point. Now, it wouldn't be fair to say, write everything that you want, the goals that you want. I want this many more team members, this, that, all that good stuff, and then not have you check in with yourself, because then all you're doing is just writing this amazing, could be possible dream list. We want it to be an actual list. We want you to be checking off stuff that you're accomplished. Why? Because it's going to make you feel good. Remember that accomplishment list that we talked about? So if you can go and check this off, this is what high, successful, priority, coaches do with people. They get the agenda, they get the big picture, they break it out, and then they keep you on track. That's why some people call it accountability partner, or it's my trainer, or it's my coach. You make those goals, you write out the steps, because there's going to be spots for you to write exactly your strategy on how you're going to achieve that. There's great questions there. And then guess what? At the end of the week, you're going to review it. Now, it could have been a week that was absolutely blew you away. Oh, sorry, what? Monthly. Yes, that's right. So the month blew you away. You surpassed. Well, that tells you that in the next month, you get to raise the bar a little bit. Or there could have been something that happened that deterred you a little bit, that you get to reevaluate and gauge out. So maybe you're increasing the next month. Maybe this is life, right? But being able to know what you've done, you've been able to accomplishment, or did you get stuck somewhere, right? And that's why we say this is like the best coach ever, because you're going to review, self-review, have that, it's just you and you, have that question to yourself on how you want to adjust that. But you don't know. We don't want you to review it in 3 months from now. We want you to be able to catch it as it goes so that you can make those little adjustments, sometimes adding, sometimes subtracting, sometimes changing, sometimes doing something a little differently. Anyways, this is where it starts to get really exciting and really accomplishing, because I personally don't think there's anything better than checking things off and knowing that you have a plan. Because when you have a plan, you succeed, and it's keeping you on point to yourself. So that's the monthly, right? And when you look at the beautiful month, you're going to see this month. I want to tell you something. There's some amazing quotes from some phenomenal people that put their quotes in this planner for you to be inspired, motivated, and maybe sometimes even surprised. Because here's something, if you're not familiar with QR codes, and you probably all are by now, just hover over that QR code and that quote from that person. If you're like, oh my gosh, that's amazing, I want to send that to my friend, or I want to put it on my social. That's a quote that I want to share with everybody. You could say, hey, everybody, I'm doing work on my planner today, and I saw this quote. It's going to pop up when you hover over, it'll pop up on your phone in a beautiful, nice little box that you can send out to your social media. And some of them have surprises. Some of them are going to pop up as videos and share some things and information with you that are going to blow you away. And if you love the quote idea, you can talk to us about that. But that's going to set you off in such a, I don't know, it's just going to propel you to high levels of success. All right, Caroline's going to talk about getting it even deeper.
Yes, and I just want to say what I love about those quotes, and I just thought about it as you were saying that, it makes you feel like you're not alone. There's always someone there each month, each week to talk to you. And you know what? If you want to go further, join our Facebook community. It's basically the True That Media on Facebook. It's a public group, and it's really a community of like-minded entrepreneurs. So it's really fun. So when you are done your monthly planning, you will get into your month. But the very first part that you will get into your month with is your week. And guess what? There's a little bit more work to do. Yes. So you will have to break down all of your monthly planning into your weekly planning. So our whole system is reverse engineering. We started with your 5 years vision, brought it down to a year. We bring the year, we break it down into 4 quarters, and then into 12 months. Now we're breaking it down into 52 weeks. So if you want to look at it this way, it's really, it's maths. Whatever you will take from the big picture, you will have to break it down until your weekly. So what Deb talked about, it's going to be the similar, similar things that you will write into your week, but on a weekly level. So your sales goals, how many new clients you want, how many new team members you want, situations that may occur in that week, how you will deal with them, etc. I mean, the questions are amazing. And then you will have on the week, what I really like is 2 points that sometimes we forget, and that's where success lies. One is your 8 in play. So basically your prospects that you are working on that week. We wrote 8, you can work on 2, you can work on 17. We wrote 8 because we like that number. And for us, it's like a number that works, it's feasible. And then you will have a table for the team members you will focus on this week. Now, whether you have a team or not yet, you can write people there because it can just be people you will focus on this week. It could be one prospect that you are really visualizing that person in your team while you write it down as you're focusing on your team member. Good visualization and, putting it into practice. And like that's well said, if you only write down stuff, but you don't act upon them or you don't reflect on them, it's not as effective. So you will also have a weekly review every single week that will really, help you ask yourself the proper questions, but also see where you are at the end of your week versus what you had planned. It will help you readjust for your following week planning. But it will also give you an account of, again, remember those 8 in play. It's going to tell you where they are now. And should you move them to your next week's plan? So if you haven't called a person for whatever reason, that person should be moved automatically. They should stop moving with you when they convert a client or they tell you, please never call me again. One of the two. And then same for the team members. When you have your meetings with team members, quite often you should end your conversation with an action plan. So you will write in that review, what's your action plan for that specific person? That is going to be your brain, basically. It's going to help you not forget anything. And then probably my favorite part is the weekly. So I absolutely love how, clear and clean it is. Again, you will have your weekly quote every week. But what I love is the table at the bottom. And I'm really asking you to pay attention to that. So it's your high performance activities. We wrote what we think are the 6 major categories that you should plan and pay attention to every single week. You can add some, you can change them if they're not for you. But let's take an example. Read 10 pages of a good book a day. Well, each day that you will have read your 10 pages, beside you will put your X. At the end of your week, you will do your total. So if you read 5 days, 10 pages, you read 50 pages. Now, again, I'm a numbers person, and I did a training with a very high performance coach, and we were doing that. And then when he made us add everything at the end of our month, I was like, what? I read that many pages. Oh my God, the sense of achievement is amazing. So you will keep track of everything daily, total it weekly, and then that's going to be also into your monthly review. So basically it helps you adjust and always readjust. Now, and a little tip I want to give you here. When you plan your days, first of all, always plan your day before your day begins. Same for your week, same for your month. Second, don't fill all of that when you plan it. Fill 60% max of your day, because the phone will ring, the kids will have something, you will receive text, it's going to be sunny outside, there's going to be something. Life happens around it. So plan 60% of your day, and it's better to succeed achieving that 60% than planning 100% and failing. That's not a good feeling for anyone. So the last little part I'm going to mention here is at the end, you will have a page to date to transcribe to your next planner. So your first planner is good for January to July. Well, what happens is that, January to June. When you make appointments, let's say Deb is telling me, hey, Carolyn, we have a speaking gig August 4th, and I don't have my next planner with me, I will go write it on August 4th. So easy. I have my 2 pages. When I will change my planner, just have to transcribe my dates. And before passing it on to Deb, you will also notice that in your second planner, you have, again, the 5-year vision and everything. This is not a mistake that we did. It's not a printing mistake that we should have removed the page. It's intentional, because it will be, first of all, an amazing mid-year reflection, and you can readjust everything there, because in 6 months, things happen, so you can readjust everything there. And I personally wish you so much luck and fun and success in 2022. If you have any questions, please email us, debandcaroline@gmail.com. And Deborah, whatever I forgot is here to be added.
Well, here's what I want to say is that I know that it might sound like there's a lot of writing, a lot of digging, a lot of reporting, a lot of reviewing, and that's not what we want you to feel like you have to do without the fun part. So here's where the fun part comes in. You want to be successful. You want to be able to check off those boxes. You want to have that sense of accomplishment. It's going to happen just by filling this in. Honestly, this may be the first time that you've ever strategized a whole year in your business, or you might have been doing this for 25, might be a veteran like myself and Caroline. It gets actually exciting and fun, because if you've done this before, you and I and Caroline know that when that actualizes, when the success starts to happen and people go, how did you do that? You can't possibly give them a year's worth of information, but you can say, I stay focused, I made a plan, I was strategic, I had a good time along the way. And in the personal development review, we've talked a lot about business. There's a lot of fun in there. There's a lot of times that you get to go and take some of your success and go take yourself to the spa, or go buy yourself that baseball hat you've always wanted. There is accomplishments and treats and things for you all along the way. So the work that we talk about inputting in over the course of this next year will pay you tenfold if you do it and stay on point. Just the fact that you're willing to do it and stay on point will bring you a yield of success that you just have no idea about. So I'm super excited for you. I know Caroline's super excited. We poured our heart and soul in here to make sure that we dotted I's and crossed T's so that you had the highest level of success. And here's the deal. This is how high performance people act, walk, talk, and think. They think about things, they review them, they adjust them so they don't continue on in the mistakes, right? It's like self-communication. The highest level of success coach are going to use these principles. You just got it for yourself. So I'm so excited. Please take pictures of where you are. If you're doing dream boards, let us know. Send us the emails like, oh my gosh, you could be getting your goals 6 months early. That review that Caroline talked about, first thing that I thought of is like, oh my gosh, I can't wait for that first person to tell us that that 1-year goal was actually accomplished in 6 months, because it's the first time that they really had that high level. That's the difference. This is a high level performance, and it's going to happen without you even knowing it. So have fun, Congratulations. We can't wait to hear about your success.